Hello, my name's Amy and welcome to another writing vlog. So it is currently a Saturday afternoon. It is incredibly wild and windy. I don't know if you can hear the rain battering against the window right now. It has been a bit of a slow writing week for me, honestly. I am currently deep in the edits of Project Moon, which I talked about in my last vlog. The edits themselves are going pretty well. The issue right now is just in having the time and energy to work on them. We are now back at work for the spring. We had a bit of a break with our Airbnb. January is a pretty quiet month in the holiday industry in the UK, so we used that time to have a break and to do a bit of work on the house, some minor DIY projects. But we've got guests in this weekend, so we are officially back to work for the year. And we're slowly making progress on our barn conversion, getting the permissions for that, which has meant that I haven't had a huge amount of time to sit down and write. And in fact, my one proper writing day of the week was yesterday, and we actually decided to use it to go out for a walk. Now, it was really nice to have that break. It's a really long time since my partner and I did a proper hike together and didn't just go for a short walk with our daughter. So I think we really needed that day out, but it did mean that I lost an entire writing day. And right now, honestly, I am just trying to be okay with that. I am not very good at taking time away from writing. It is very rare for me to take a day off at all. I typically do some writing work every single day, and then to take an entire day off when I could have spent 5 or 6 hours writing, that is so rare for me. But honestly, I think that's just the way this year is going. I have set deadlines for myself and I am trying to be very disciplined with them. The main focus there is to stop myself jumping around from project to project, and I've done a pretty good job at that over the last month or so. But going along with that is this concept of rest and taking breaks, which is something I have not been very good at in the past. It is not healthy to work every single day, and it's also not healthy to consider every waking hour as possible work time. We are not meant to exist like that. I've actually been listening to the audiobook of How to Do Nothing by Jenny Odell, which has been really interesting. Now, that talks about rest as an almost anti-capitalist form of activism. And it's funny, but somehow that actually makes me feel better about taking time off. So much of what we are spurred into doing, like posting on Facebook or constantly being online, we are actually being encouraged to do because it's making someone else money. So stepping back from that a little bit and just taking the time to be offline and to rest feels both useful for myself but also meaningful in a wider context. So the week ahead is going to be a little bit of a strange one. We are working, but we've also got some family friends coming to stay in our Airbnb, so lots of socializing and days out ahead. And of course, editing. As I said, the editing on Project Moon is really going quite well. It's probably a little bit slower than I expected. I'm now nearing the end of chapter 4, and probably I should be a bit further along than that by now, but I am happy with the progress I've made and I'm happy with how the book is coming together. I like the changes I've made, and what has really struck me so far is how quickly the characters come to life in this book. Reading back, it's clear to me that I got the gist and the voice of the two main characters really very early on in the book. Our main character Rue, I think I'd nailed her really by the second scene. And the other main character Viri, I'd really got a sense of him a couple of chapters after he appears. Now that's quite soon for me. It often takes me a while to get to know my characters in a first draft, but these characters really just came to me fully formed, so it was quite easy to get their voices down on the page. So I'm really enjoying being back with them and bringing their story to life. As ever for me, a lot of the edit is about working out consistency in the plot and in the world building. This is an issue for me every single time I write a book. No matter how well I plan, and Project Moon was very well planned, I had a full and detailed outline, but this lack of consistency creeps in anyway. So this is going to be a week of socializing and working and editing and of course taking time to rest. Let's see if for once I can actually get the balance right. It feels kinda ironic that when I try to make a video about writing and rest, I get hit by a bout of insomnia. And on top of that, I think I'm starting with the cold that my daughter has had for a few days now. So I think that'll be my second cold in about 3 weeks. So that's left me feeling pretty wiped out today. So it's now Tuesday evening and a few days since I last updated the vlog. It has been an uneven few days, to be honest. There has been one day of lazing around reading in there, that was Saturday. On Sunday I worked all day. Then yesterday I worked in the morning and spent the afternoon socialising. I have to say I always forget how much of an adjustment it is getting back into work after a month off. We took January away from work. We had the Airbnb closed. We did some work on the house, but we are now back and open for business again. We've been cleaning, I've been doing laundry, and it is taking me a bit to get back into the swing of things. And because of that, I really feel like I've been letting things slip. Now, when I look at social media and particularly YouTube, that is true. I've got 2 videos that are scripted and I just have not got around to filming them. This vlog is the only video I've worked on in about 2 weeks. So in that sense, I'm definitely not where I wanted to be this week. But in terms of writing, things are actually going much better. I've been spending as much time as I can on the editing and I'm now coming up to the end of chapter 6. Now there are only 20 chapters in the book altogether, so that's decent progress. And more importantly, really, I like the editing I've been doing. I feel I've really strengthened the first quarter of the book. I have ironed out some inconsistencies in the plot, and I've made it a lot clearer what the characters want. And I actually think next I'm going to be writing a brand new chapter because I realised while reading the book and making notes that a very major part of the main character's personality is never talked about. The other main character who meets her in the third chapter of the book just seems to magically know about it, which is absolutely impossible because he has just spent the last 400 years asleep. So at some point, the two characters do actually need to talk about this very important part of Rue's personality, which I completely forgot. Somehow I just missed getting that into the outline, and then I just assumed it had happened when I was writing the rest of the book. But adding in a new chapter is no bad thing. The original draft of this book was 60,000 words. I actually aimed for 60k and I wrote 60,008. And I was happy with that because I always wanted it to be a fairly short book. There are going to be somewhere between 6 and 8 books in this series, and they will invariably get longer volume by volume, so I was happy with the first book being relatively short. But there is a fine line to walk between keeping the book short and making it feel a bit stunted. I want readers to get invested in the world and characters, and when I reread the first draft, I felt it just needed a little bit more meat. So I'm very happy for the book to be getting longer. I expect it to come in somewhere around 70 to 75,000 words by the time it's finished, and I'd be very happy with that. So I suppose overall this has not been that bad a week or weekend since I last updated the vlog. I feel like I've been unproductive and an awful lot of things on my to-do list last week did not get ticked off. But the writing is still moving forward, so I'm having to just accept that this is a season of my life when videos are going to have to take a back seat. And honestly, if I have properly gone down with the cold by tomorrow, then that will probably be out of my hands anyway. It must be about 3 weeks since I started this vlog. Time has kind of got away from me recently. Life has been busy, we've been working, the weather has been awful, which has thrown lots of spanners into the works, as it so often does at this time of year. In terms of writing though, things are going well. I am now on chapter 10 of 20 in my Project Moon edits. Now I'm probably actually more than halfway through now because I did add an extra chapter in as I was going along. So I suppose technically I'm on chapter 11. I'm doing a less comprehensive edit this time round than I would normally do. I would often combine a lot of developmental work and copy editing in one pass, and I'm not doing that with this book. I'm just working on a developmental edit and it feels like I'm absolutely flying through it, which makes a nice change. One thing I have found though, and I always find this when I focus on a single project, is that I start thinking about ways to sneak other books into my schedule. Now, I have a deadline for Project Moon and I'm working towards that really well, but I keep thinking maybe I can sneak a little bit of drafting on a different book in every evening. I have actually started doing that because I've got some really big epic fantasies that I know I'm never going to write unless I make an effort to find the time for them, but I don't know how long I'm going to keep that up. What I've really been thinking about though is that subject of rest that I think I was talking about earlier in the vlog. My idea with some of this drafting in the evening was that because these books are not on any schedule and they don't have any deadlines, that working them is kind of a form of rest. And I don't exactly know how true that is. It's still work because I still take all my writing very seriously. But at the same time, I've been thinking about writing more generally. When we think about rest as a subject, we are thinking of activities that give us energy, that make us feel relaxed, which improve our mental state. And I've come to the realization that writing does all of these things for me. Now, it's really hard to draw the line between rest and work when it comes to writing, because like I said, I do treat it very seriously. I treat it like a job, no matter how much money it makes. But also at the same time, I know I will feel so much better if I get my writing done in the morning. And that isn't just a sense of satisfaction at ticking something off my to-do list. I get up from my PC feeling absolutely energized. Creating something, putting words down on paper, it just makes me feel 1,000 times better. And isn't that the definition of a restful activity? It is giving me the energy and the enthusiasm to go about the rest of my day. I don't know whether to classify my writing as rest or as work. I think the danger of classifying it as rest is that I will then end up pushing myself much harder and I will find excuses to write and work more even when I don't really feel like it. Because I can be a bit of a workaholic when I let myself get into that frame of mind. But at the same time, I can't deny that writing just makes me feel better. And during the periods of my life when I haven't written much, it has felt like everything else around me has also started to slide. Writing kind of holds my brain together in a way that's really hard for me to put into words. So if you've ever come to these same conclusions about writing, or if you are trying to find the line between work and rest in your creative life, I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. I'm going to be spending the next few weeks feverishly editing Project Moon. It's been a long time since I have enjoyed the editing process so much, but I think that's just testament to how much I like this book. And I will of course be back soon with another writing vlog. So until then, keep writing everyone, and I'll see you next time.